Hello, everybody. It's me, Shannon LaBruyere. I'm live and loving it tonight. Welcome to Sunday Night Live, where we equip you to thrive in change, to be able to dig those roots deep, even when the storms are raging, even when things are going crazy. The change you wanted, the change you didn't, you can thrive. And the key to you thriving in the midst of all manner of change boils down to principles, knowing the principles that allow you to be successful, that allow you to be able to be nourished, even when maybe the season is not really that fruitful. So, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'd love for you to say hi. Let us know you're here. If you're watching and if this is your first time, let us know where you're from. I know we have viewers from all over the world. Not always live though, so I would love to hear who you are, where you're from. Just say hi. It'd be great. All right, let me see our sponsor. Our sponsor is Thumb Roast Coffee. A friend and I are going to be driving out to Thumb Roast Coffee this week or early next week to pick up some bags of delicious, fresh roasted, clean, what is it called? Like designer coffee. It's so good and it makes perfect gifts. If you don't live within driving distance of Thumb Roast Coffee, don't worry. You can use the internet. Go to thumbroastcoffee.com. Make sure you put in Thrive when you check out and you'll get 15% off of your order. So that'll be awesome. Check it out. You will not be sorry, and the coffee lover in your life will thank you for sure. All right. So tonight, let me find my chat here. All right, cool. Tonight's Thrive principle is hashtag find the beauty. Hashtag find the beauty. I was thinking a little bit about my Christmas memories. And my Christmas memories, I'm not going to lie, they're sort of up and down. Some of them are fantastic and awesome, and some of them are sort of bittersweet. But I can say this about every one of them, I learned something. And so as I was leaning into that a little bit and thinking, what have I learned from my Christmas memories, especially because this Christmas looks so different from all of the Christmases that I've celebrated in the past. I'm not sure about you, but our family is used to having a huge get together, and we are not going to be able to gather face to face this year for the holiday. So we've moved it online. It's going to be a virtual celebration. It's going to be great. I have no doubt, but it will not be great like getting together and hugging everybody's neck. It's just not. And I can spend a lot of time, as can you, I can spend a lot of time mourning the loss of what cannot be, or recognizing it, acknowledging it, respect the now, it is what it is, and turn my energy and my attention toward making this Christmas something memorable and precious and special, right? So as I was leaning into that, I started thinking about other Christmases that I've had that maybe weren't so fantastic, and my takeaways from that. So I invite you, if you've got some Christmas memories you want to share, Christmas lessons you'd like to share, because that's what we're going to be talking about, I'd love for you to drop those in the comments so everybody can see. Tammy, hi and welcome. I'm glad you're here. For those of you just jumping on, be sure to say hi. Let us know you're here. Give us those hearts and those likes, and for sure say hi in the comments, and feel free as we talk tonight about my Christmas memories and the things I learned. I have a feeling that I'm not the only one who's learned these lessons, and I am 100% certain that these lessons that I've learned are going to serve not just me well, but they will serve you well for this holiday season. Are we ready? All right, let's go. Oh, hi, Pam. I'm glad you're here. And Margaret's on. Hi, ladies. I'm glad you're here. Thank you. And thanks for saying hi. All right, so hashtag find the beauty. Oh, I almost forgot something very exciting. Yay! Some of you may remember a couple of months ago, I interviewed Linda Pouliot, and she is the author of Grieving Forward, Death Happened, Now What? And we talked a little bit about grieving, and we talked about how grief happens when we suffer pain. And so that can be losing a loved one, losing a job, losing our ability to gather, whatever the losses are that you're grieving. I am happy to tell you that this coming week, starting tomorrow, which is December 14th, at 3:30 on Monday, December 14th, Linda and I are going to go live from right here on the Thrive and Change page. And we are going to take 5 or 10 minutes and explore some of the great principles that she has from her book that are going to allow us to be able to deal with the ups and downs of the coming holiday season in a more resilient way. And Linda is a hoot. She makes me laugh. I love her fresh perspective on grieving and how it applies to just life in general and not just that little niche of having lost a loved one. So if you or anybody you know is grieving a loss, or if you're anticipating the next couple of weeks, maybe being a little bit more of a bumpy ride than what you're used to because of all the changes with the pandemic, you are going to love tuning into these Facebook Lives. We're going to do one on Monday, and it'll be at, let me see, I believe it is at 3:30. So 3:30 Monday, the 14th of December is the first one. And if you can't catch it live, you can just go and you'll find it there in the stream. It's there for you to access. So you're going to love it. And then we'll also be doing it on Wednesday afternoon and Friday afternoon. So I'm excited. I love working with Linda, and I know she's got something that's going to help all of us to be able to thrive in the midst of some of the changes that we're experiencing for the holidays. All right. With that, let's get started. Christmas memories. So if I'm giving you these in no particular order, so it's not that they happened first. It's not that it was the best or the worst or whatever. These are just the ones that popped into my awareness as I was thinking about it. And the first one that popped into my awareness happened in 1975. So I would have been about 12 years old. So 1975, 12 years old. My mother and my siblings and my dad was involved as well, but he didn't spearhead this project. But we got the name of a family from the Utica firefighters, and the Utica Goodfellows had gotten needy families together and created almost like a giving tree. And so my mom she got the name of a family, and she made sure she got one that had a lot of kids because we had a lot of kids. At that time, there were 6 of us. My little sister was just about a year old. So we were a full family ourselves. So when my mom went looking for a family to be generous to, she wanted a big one. So she picked a family. And I can remember so vividly, there was a mom and a dad, and there were children. And so we tried, they only listed what the children wanted. But my mom said, well, the mom and dad need a present too. And so we picked out slippers for the mom, and I think we picked out candy for the dad, and we got gifts for each one of the children, and we all wrapped them. And my mom was so excited. We were excited. My mom took them to the fire department to drop off this huge basket for this family. I can still remember, I was filled with such joy as we were going through that process. And my mom took that basket to the Utica Fire Department so that the Goodfellows could distribute them the next week. And come the next week, we got a knock on our door. And a representative of the Goodfellows was there at my house with a basket of goodies for my family. Because somebody had told the Goodfellows that we were poor. And I'd never really thought of it. I did not think about that I was too poor to adopt a family and give presents. That never crossed my mind. I was flabbergasted when the Goodfellows showed up with a gift basket for the poor, and it was us. This is what I learned from that experience. Focusing on the joy of sharing with someone else made me feel blessed and abundant. I did not feel like I was poor or that I lacked anything. And I appreciated the gift basket from the Goodfellows. I really did. But I was still a little bit stunned by it because I didn't feel poor. I felt like I should be the one who was giving. And this is what I learned from that. A couple of things. First one was that was my parents showing us what it meant to be generous. And we talked about that last week. If you haven't listened to last week's Sunday Night Live, I encourage you to do it or watch it. You can listen to it on the podcast. You can watch it on the YouTube channel, or it's down in the stream on Facebook Live, however you access it. But talked about generosity as a posture, as a person who brings the honor, right? And my parents modeled that for me. And I will never forget that, how valuable it was for me to know that no matter how little we had, how far we were stretching a dollar, we had enough to share, and the joy that it brought for me to share it. So that is probably one of my favorite Christmas messages. And I still appreciate it to this day and can get a little bit teary-eyed thinking about it, because that model that my parents made for me is the model that we tried to pass on, or that we intentionally modeled for our children, my husband and I both. We passed that legacy on, that legacy of we always have enough to share with somebody else. We always have enough to share with somebody else. And that knowledge that I always have enough to share, to this day, when I lean into that understanding, I feel blessed, I feel rich, I feel abundant. And so if you are feeling poor in spirit, poor in purse, if you're feeling a sense of lack this holiday season, I want to encourage you that the solution is not to try to hold it tighter and hoard what it is you have. The solution is to focus on sharing with somebody else and giving with a spirit of abundance, and it will transform the way you feel, the way you see things, and it will also transform the way you live. It's amazing. So my favorite holiday memory, giving the basket to the poor people, and then the next week getting the basket for the poor people and being totally mystified by it, like, whoa. All right, so let's see. We've got some comments here. So Carol's asking, will you have something for tomorrow to share? I have to work Monday, but I can listen later Monday night. Yes, I will have a post that you guys can share, and you can invite people. And that'll be on my Thrive and Change page. And it'll probably be there tonight because I want to get that out there so that you can share it and invite the people that you know that would benefit from hearing somebody like Linda give a little bit of fun advice, but also helpful advice about how to thrive and change, how to deal with grief during the holidays. So yeah, I will definitely have something to share. And yeah, Carol says we always have enough to share with someone else. That's right. That's how we show up. We bring the honor. But we're talking about find the beauty. So I spent I spent more than one Christmas being poor, but one of the Christmases I spent being poor, I didn't even know it because I was so focused through the guidance of my family. I was so focused on being generous to other people that I didn't notice what I lacked myself. So awesome. All right. So that is a positive memory, really beautiful one. This one, not so much. So this one is one of those ones in my brain, I call it the Bobo Fest debacle. And many of you know that Bobo Fest is what my husband dubbed the Christmas Eve celebration, where all of my side of the family gathered at our home to celebrate the holidays together. And he called it Bobo Fest because my maiden name was Bobo, B-O-B-O. I'll pause while you chuckle. Yeah. So Bobo Fest, because it was a big party filled with Bobos, right? Why not? So the Bobo Fest debacle. I somehow had in my brain that it was really, really important for everything in my house to be perfect before I had my family over for Christmas Eve. And it wasn't rational. It wasn't rational. And so I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I was yelling at my children. I was snapping at my husband. I was obsessing over weird little details, like the fact that one of my dining room chairs had not been completely painted, and I thought people were going to need to sit in it. And so I was trying to paint a chair a half hour before people were going to arrive because I was so obsessed with this looking perfect. And my husband stopped me in mid-rant during one of my lead-ups to Bobo Fest, because I did this more than 1 year. I'm not proud of that, but I did. And I had crossed the line. My kids were crying. Ken was beside himself. I was so upset that I wasn't going to be able to enjoy anything because nothing was perfect. Things were not done. I was a mess. I was a mess. I wasn't enjoying looking forward to having people come over. I was obsessing about the fact that they hadn't swept the floor properly, or there was a little thing out of place. It was out of control. It was crazy. And my husband took me aside and he said, I want you to look at our children. And I looked at my kids, and their faces were blotchy and red. They had been crying. I had been haranguing them and yelling at them and making them feel small because I said I wanted things to be perfect for our party. And this is the lesson I learned from that. Me yelling at my kids and making them feel small and less than wasn't because I wanted things to be perfect for my family, because my family and my extended family couldn't have cared less. It was about me. I was being selfish. I wanted it to be perfect for me. I wanted somehow to be the only person in the whole world that didn't have any flaws. And I wanted to make sure everybody saw me just like that. But it was a lie. And it was a costly lie. It cost me a lot. It cost me a lot of joy and relaxation. But even more important than that, it cost my children something. My extreme desire to be perfect cost them their joy, cost them their good time, cost them their feelings of family and togetherness and connection. And my husband made me look at them and said, look at these children. Is this what you want? And it wasn't. It was not what I wanted. And so I decided to change. And I decided to not obsess about having things to be perfect. And I made the shift from trying to be perfect to being present, to being together, to being with my kids and my family, to allowing myself to not have everything look like a magazine, to give myself room to just be a human who doesn't always execute the best. I don't know what this year looks like for you. My perfection gets triggered when people are going to come visit me, when they're coming into my home. Maybe you don't have that. Maybe you don't have those feelings of wanting to have everything be awesome. But if you do, I want you to know this. The things that people appreciate about you most are not the things that you do for them. They are the things that you do with them. And our struggle to be perfect is us trying to do things for people so that we don't have to be vulnerable and authentic and be with them. I know, that's a heavy one, but it's true. So give yourself permission to be real. Be connected with the people that you're going to be spending the holiday with, whether it's in a Zoom conference or if it's at a restaurant in an igloo, or if it's going to be in your home, wherever that is, give yourself permission to be real and to be present with the people that you're with. Yeah, for sure. All right, so what are you guys thinking? And Pam says this, so good. Pam, it is good. It is so good. And it is so easy to forget. It is so easy to forget. So be present with the people you love, not perfect. Take a look at that family once in a while and see, how is my behavior impacting them? It's surprising sometimes what you'll learn. Anybody else have a holiday lesson that you've learned? As I'm going through mine, I know you've got some, and I would love to hear about them. Pam says she's done it, and thanks for the clarity. Yeah. I think most of us have done something like that at one time or another. If we're honest, it's just do it as seldom as possible, Shannon, okay? Every once in a while you might slip up, but catch yourself and change, right? Don't just keep on and have it be the way things are. All right. So the third memory I'm going to talk about tonight of mine is when I had a serious health issue, and I was in the hospital for about a week and a half leading up to Christmas. And I got out of the hospital on December 23rd. And December 24th is Bobo Fest. That's when everybody comes over. And I was frantic. Just got home from the hospital and I was frantic, trying to figure out how could I still have a big party at my house, even though I had been in the hospital leading up to the party and didn't feel great. And my sister, Hunter, said, Shannon, why don't we just move the whole party to my house and you don't have to do anything. You just show up. And that, my friends, is what I did. I gave myself permission to let somebody help me. And boy, was it ever a help. I went to our family Christmas party back before it was the thing to do in my pajamas. I wore my pajamas, my robe, my slippers. I got to sit on the couch. I didn't have to move. I didn't have to clean. I didn't have to cook. I just got to sit there and feel overwhelmingly grateful for my family, that I was alive, because my kidney issue was not so great. I was really glad to be alive because it was scary. It was amazing. It was amazing. Friends, get help. Ask for help if you need it, and take the help if someone offers it. Take the help if someone offers it. I look back on that Christmas and it fed my soul when I finally allowed myself to receive help. I didn't have to be the oldest sister who was in charge of everything, who always took care of things. I got to be the person who other people took care of. And this is what I learned from that. That didn't just help me, it helped them because we were connected. It was relationship based. It wasn't us in our roles. Shannon was the oldest and Brandy's the baby and everybody's got their label that they wear. It was all of us just being people, bringing what we could, and me acknowledging I needed help. Goes right back to that perfect thing. So that's my third memory. I learned how to accept help, and it was amazing. All right, so Linda Palazzolo, Linda says this, learned it the hard way. Yeah, this idea of trying to make things perfect. Learned it the hard way. Tammy says this, I used to be like you, but I had to give that up because it made me and my kids crazy. But now I hardly have anyone over because everything can't be how I want it. And that's not good either. Tammy, thank you for that authenticity right there. Yeah, it's you've given up the part about it has to be perfect. But the way you've dealt with it is, if it's not perfect, I'm just not going to have anybody come over. So interesting, Tammy. Well, now that you're aware of it, now you get to decide what to do with that. You get to decide what to do with it. Like Carol says, run the dishwasher 3 times. When you're getting help from people, take it. And if they loaded the dishwasher and it wasn't right, Carol, just hit the button. Hit the button 1 or 2 more times. It'll get clean. I love it. Ask someone to bring a dish. It's as easy as that. It's as easy as that. I'll tell you, change during the holidays can be tough to swallow. And if you're like me, you fight it. I don't want it to be different. I'm going to try to make it the same. But like we talked about a couple weeks ago, it's not the same. And it's okay. It's okay. I wonder, when you look back on your Christmases past, what have you learned? And maybe you didn't learn it until tonight. Maybe you didn't learn it until you reflect upon what we've talked about today. And you'll go, I'll have to think about that. Linda, I'm going to share this. This is important. Linda, I'm unmoored. Yeah. All of the pillars that we build our family traditions around have been like floating out there in this ocean of change and uncertainty. We don't know what next week will bring. We don't. Linda, I feel you. And this is something, if you're feeling unmoored, like Linda, and I'm sometimes feeling that same way, there are some touchstones that we can always go back to. And those are the things that are going to keep us strong when everything else changes. When everything else is going crazy, the things that don't move are the things that you hold on to. Our love for family, our love for God, our commitment to helping and serving others. Margaret says this will be the first time in 30 years that I will not be able to celebrate with my parents and family over the holidays. It's a weird feeling. Yeah, it is a weird feeling. Yeah, it's just unmoored. Unmoored is such a great word for it, Linda. Yeah. Margaret, I wonder, what are you doing to maintain a sense of connection with your family during this time, knowing that you're not going to be able to gather? I'd be curious to know how you're doing that. For our family, we're going to have a Zoom conference. Santa is coming, which will be cool. The kids will have Christmas presents, the little kids, the kids who believe in Santa, will have Christmas presents, little tchotchkes, on the front porch, so that when Santa comes onto our Zoom conference, he's going to tell them all to go and check the front porch, and they're going to see the reindeer dust and the presents. And then they'll come in and we'll let them open them and share them with everybody. So it's going to be a fun time, I think. Carol says, I cook in the store-bought pans so I don't have to clean them. See, now, way to make it easier. Why make it harder than it has to be? And Pam says the same thing. I started doing that. It's genius. Yeah, there's ways, if we'll allow ourselves to take some shortcuts to save some energy for the things that really matter, right? Yeah. Well, you guys are amazing. I am loving all these comments. Thank you. Let's see what Missy has to say. I lived in constant state of what's next most of my life. Busy, running, always doing a lot. And because of personal coaching, learning, growing, being a part of Livestream Leadership, it's taught me to live in the moment And it's taken training, yes, but it's such a better place to be. I see more. I experience more. Oh, Missy, this is beautiful. I can love more. Even though Christmas won't be the same this year, I'll live in the moment and enjoy every moment. Wow, Missy, you just said something powerful there. Live in the moment. Respect the now. Nope, it's not the same moment as last year at this time. It's not the same moment as we maybe planned it or wanted it to be, but it's the moment we have. And sometimes amazing, magical things happen in those moments unexpectedly. I know that in years to come, we are going to be able to look back as people who are committed to thriving in the midst of change, not shriveling, not dying, but thriving. As people who are committed to thriving in the midst of change, we're going to look back on the year 2020 and the holidays of 2020. And we are going to have some really powerful takeaways that are going to allow us to share what we've learned with our kids and our grandkids. Amazing, amazing. Oh, wow. All right, let's see. Oh, Missy is grateful. Missy, I'm grateful for you leaning in and learning and growing and sharing what you've learned and how you're growing with people in your community, Raise, with all of your thumb roast coffee. It's amazing. Oh, yeah. This is what Pam says. Awesome, Missy. That is something I'm striving for, not having the guilt of running so much that I'm missing out on what's truly important. Linda says this, amazing, Missy. With COVID, we don't know what is going to happen. What am I supposed to do next? Yeah. What a great solution you've just given us, Missy, which is to not worry about what I'm going to do next. What am I going to do now? What am I going to do now? Pretty amazing. These comments are great, you guys. Really great. Carol mentions live stream leadership Sunday mornings or Saturday mornings. I want to encourage you, if you're a person with a heart to grow, if you love to connect with other people and talk about principles and good ideas and things that you can sink your teeth into, and that when you apply them, your whole life gets transformed, live stream leadership on Saturday mornings is where you want to be, because it has been profoundly amazing. The wisdom there has been awesome. Oh, Alex LaBruyere, hi and love you, she says. And Alex, I love you too. That is the mother of my grandchildren right there. Alex, I'm honored that you popped in. All right, you guys, you're amazing. You're amazing. I encourage you to scroll through these comments. Chime in what you think. Make sure you check out the Thrive and Page Change for the announcement post that you can use to invite people to tune in this coming week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, to our interview with Linda Pouliot. And don't forget, you can get some thumb roast coffee at thumbroastcoffee.com. And one of your Christmas gifts can be crossed off the list because it's good stuff. You guys are amazing. I love you. God bless. Take care. Bye.